Hello, good morning. Welcome to Business on the News Desk. About 7 billion Ghana cedis said to have been spent by the previous administration over the past 3 years cannot be accounted for. Vice President Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia disclosed this at the Action Chapel Good Corporate Governance Initiative held in Accra yesterday. He said this development is making it difficult for the new government to plan because government is yet to establish the true state of the country's finances, affecting the 2017 budget presentation.
In the management of any economy, there is nothing that can beat the integrity of your economic data, because it's with data that you plan. If you don't have data, you have major problems. And this is why we really need to emphasize the integrity of data. In preparing for this year's budget, for example, we have been very surprised by the fiscal data, the data on our expenditures and on our revenues. As we interrogated the data to see exactly why our public finances are in the state they are, we find out that there's 7 billion Ghana cedis of expenditures that have not been disclosed. And I'm talking 7 billion for ending the year 2016. And these come from 2014, 2015, 2016. So where have they been hiding all these years? And how are you supposed to manage an economy with faulty data? And so we have to emphasize that, getting the data right is really very key, because it throws the entire budget into disarray. Because you are going into 2017 and suddenly you are told, by the way, there's 7 billion that you have to pay next year that you didn't anticipate. This is the reality.
And away from that, mining companies have welcomed the Minister-designate for Lands and Natural Resources plans to review their stability agreements with government to maximize economic benefits of its mineral resources. The stability agreements seek to encourage investments in the sector by allowing the mining companies to enjoy a more flexible tax regime. Currently, the beneficiary companies include Anglo Gold Ashanti, Newmont, and Goldfields. The Chamber of Mines says it has no qualms about the planned review, so long as the final decision would inure to the mutual benefit of both government and the mining firms. Chief Executive Officer of the Ghana Chamber of Mines is Suleiman Kony. He explains.
Stability agreements are assurance to give to investors that one day you will not wake up and say, I think that royalty should move from 5% to 20%. And therefore, the investors need that kind of assurance. That is, it is not whether in a developing country or a war-torn country and so on and so forth. No, it's about predictability. And all business people love predictability. In fact, that is why we go for insurance, isn't it? And therefore, effectively, what investors are saying is that, government, if you want me to come and invest in your country, give me assurance that you are not going to vary the fiscal terms to my disadvantage after I have made the investment decision. It's a simple thing. So you don't tell me after I have bought the product, then when it comes to servicing, you are increasing the service fee and so on and so forth, which will go against the investor. Don't forget that the reference agreements are based upon law. The minerals and mining law actually provides for it, and on that basis, that companies actually do investment. And again, don't forget that this is a mutually acceptable agreement between the two parties, government and the company. So for me, the incoming minister is going to review. Of course, it means that he needs more information. He needs to look at the agreement again, vis-a-vis what we have within the context of other jurisdictions, particularly, and see whether we are competitive. I'm sure he wants to see whether probably something needs to be probably just to attract more investment in the country.
Meanwhile, Minister of Lands and Natural Resources designate John Peter Amewu says he would enforce stiffer punishment to curb illegal mining activities in the country if his nomination is approved. Illegal mining activities have become a major pullback for the mining sector, threatening foreign investments. Taking his stand before the Parliament's Appointments Committee, Mr. Amewu stressed he will tackle the menace head-on.
Mr. Chairman, regularization of illegal mining is a subject I am considering myself as part of the President's, His Excellency Nana Akufo-Addo's agenda. Regularization simply means we got to bring them to the formal sector and the right way of doing things. Currently, Mr. Chairman, the illegal miners just go doing haphazard digging. In my language, they say matrai makwe. You dig here to see whether you find gold, and tomorrow you go and dig another place. That cannot continue. At least government need to invest some minimum amount for the purpose of explorations and prospecting. And so that if these minerals deposits are identified, we can bring them collectively under one umbrella to mine. So His Excellency the President, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, is trying to see how we can migrate this process into a formal processes. So that is exactly what I would do as a minister designate if I become approved by this House.
So when you said you are not going to condone an illegality, is that position not different from regularizing an illegal activity now?
Not at all, Mr. Chairman. There is going to be an ongoing process to regularize the system. I have mentioned earlier on, Mr. Chairman, the recalcitrant one who face the law. There are thousands small-scale miners there up in this country, Mr. Chairman, that are doing the right thing. You visit their mine sites, and their mine site as more perfect than the large-scale miners. We should improve or encourage those small-scale to continue. And that's exactly what His President, His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo is talking about.
Mr. Amewu also emphasized the need for a revenue management law for the mining sector, similar to that of the oil and gas industry, to ensure effective management of mining revenues. And that's all in business for this morning. Many thanks for your company. Do join me again at midday for more business news updates.